Hello everybody. We're going to talk a little bit today about performance-based assessment and how this relates to our online learning and our distance learning process that we're undergoing, this transformation that's happening to us and with us right before our eyes. Performance-based assessment needs to give students the opportunity to apply their knowledge, not simply to give us back what we've been giving to them. So the question we need to ask ourselves is, how can students create something to demonstrate their understanding? And perhaps more to the point is, how are we able to create opportunities for students to take a stand and to justify their decision? Performance-based assessment must go beyond the tests and the quizzes. And what I've tried to do today is to create a little presentation here that defines 7 characteristics of performance tasks. The first one is that performance-based assessment calls for the application of knowledge and skills. We want to use learning to perform, to produce a product that is tangible. And some simple ways to express this are through oral presentation, debate, and simulation. And in our online learning world now that we're in, we have the possibility for students to create their own videos, to engage in debate online with each other, to develop their own simulation. Secondly, performance-based assessment tasks are open-ended. There isn't typically a single correct answer. We have to allow for the creativity and development of this learning process with our students. There can be different responses to a single task that we have set up. The process has to be open, and we can't expect a single answer to the problems that we are presenting to our students. Number 3, we're hoping that the performance-based assessment tasks establish original and genuine contexts. It gives the students an opportunity to work under realistic conditions and constraints. They have to navigate between the two. We can put some conditions on their work, and they will be constrained by what your goals are for them, what their goals are for themselves, who is the audience they're hoping to reach. One of the tools of self-evaluation at the end can be the obstacles that were overcome and the different options that were evaluated prior to the performance, prior to the product being produced. What different options were considered, what obstacles were presented in each one, and that can be part of the assessment. In fact, it should be part of the assessment. The fourth characteristic of performance-based assessment is that the students are able to provide evidence of their understanding through a transfer of skills. The situation is going to be messy. A rich performance is open, and it must allow for the application of their skills in context, in a specific context. It can't be scripted by us, and it can't be reduced to a formula. That isn't to say that the students may not come up with a script for themselves or their own formula. That's a completely different story. If they write the script and they create the formula, then we're really talking performance-based. Number 5, these performance-based assessment tasks are multifaceted. They are complex, they involve multiple steps, and they will address several learning standards throughout the process. Number 6, we expect that performance-based assessment tasks will integrate 2 or more subjects. The list before you shows some that are classic: maths and science, social science and language, physical education and health, drama and literature. But we can see we can add technology to a number of these. We can add language-based skills to a lot of these. The whole performance itself can be assessed and evaluated. It can be assessed by the teacher based on certain criteria. It can be assessed by the students within their group. It can be assessed by individual students of their own work. And finally, performance-based assessment yields open-ended tasks. That is to say, there will not be a single answer to the product, but the products and performances will be judged against appropriate criteria. And if you give yourself the opportunity to work collaboratively with your students, you can create these assessment criteria. What can I expect from you? What can you expect from me? And by clearly defining and aligning the criteria together, we can develop very fruitful and very positive performance-based assessments for our students.